Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's three-game MLB DraftKings slate. If you're new to this channel, my name's Tim. I'll be breaking down DFS slates, mainly MLB right now as we go into the season. If that is something that you're into and you love baseball content, please feel free to subscribe, like this video. We'll be doing it all season long. I'll be giving some tips and advice and some breakdowns. We'll talk pitching, we'll talk hitting. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So we got three games going on here at 1:05 Eastern time. You got the Rays at the Red Sox. You have the Blue Jays and Tigers, and then you got the Cardinals and the Mets. Looks like we got the majority of our lineups out today. Real quick, I just want to look at some of the MLB Vegas odds, and I do like to look at the Vegas odds while I'm making my lineups. Just because it makes it a little bit easier to target hitters or pitching who are favorited. Chances are that the favorites are likely to win, right? So they're likely to get you more runs or maybe have a better pitching day depending on the matchup. So we'll take a look at it. Right now, it looks like Boston and the Rays are kind of split here down the middle. But on some other sites, it does appear that the Red Sox are favorited. So we'll just go with that. Toronto and the Tigers, it looks like Toronto is favorited. Toronto is sitting a lot of their starters, but we'll go through their lineup and we'll pick a few guys who may break the slate. And then the Mets and Cardinals, not a whole lot of information out on this game yet. The lineups are still not available. But we kind of know, we're 15 or games or so into the season, so we kind of know where both teams kind of stand right now at the moment. But the Mets are early favorites here. And then let's get into this little presentation. I got a little bit of some statistics to drop on you. So Rays, Red Sox, like we said, Red Sox are favorited. Chris Archer pitching against Nathan Eovaldi. I don't like either pitcher in this one, to be honest with you. Archer made his first start, I believe it was against the Red Sox, 1.1 innings pitched, one strikeout, no hits. So that's a very good outing for him, making his little comeback. And then Eovaldi, 5.1 innings pitched, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, allowed a walk, gave up a home run, which is key, and then struck out 5 guys. Eovaldi, you never know what you're going to get out of him. Sometimes he's better out of the bullpen. Sometimes he's a starter. They're probably going to go with him as a starter this year. I just don't trust him right now. But on the Rays side for hitting, they're kind of just league average with everything, 15th in average, 10th in on-base percentage, home runs, stolen bases right in the middle, strikeouts right in the middle. So nothing really sexy over there. Pitching-wise, Rays as a whole, they're 24th in ERA, 16th in WHIP. So that suggests to me that ERA should actually improve over time, over a bit larger sample size. 4th in home runs allowed, and then 29th in strikeouts. So they're giving up home runs, and they're not really striking guys out. So there's a lot to figure out there. Guys in play I like for the Rays hitting wise. Joey Wendell, I know, not the greatest, but a good matchup for Eovaldi and Wendell. Adames and Lau, just because Lau can hit you that home run. And then on the Red Sox side, they've been red hot, 5th in average, 5th in on-base percentage. I likely would see them, continue that, maybe being top 10 as the season starts. 3rd in home runs. They're not going to steal bases. That's clear. And then strikeouts are about average. Pitching wise, all kind of middle of the road. The key for them is that they're not allowing a lot of home runs, and that's going to be important for them in the season. And strikeouts are 22nd, so they could improve there. Guys in play here, Marwin Gonzalez has been hot. Devers, you can plug in at 3rd. He's been hitting the ball okay, showing power. Bogarts, you could take a chance on. He's only a few games in. I like Kike Hernandez leading off. Bobby Dahlbeck, who I called it the other day. He hit his 5th home run. He hit a 2nd grand slam. This dude is on fire. The crappy part is that you have to sacrifice your 3rd base spot. So if you want to play like, Devers, then you kind of have to make that tough choice. But I do like him. He's going to go lower owned. And then Christian Vasquez is a safe catcher spot. Ray's lineup today, they're sitting a lot of guys, so that might favor Eovaldi here. So just keep that in mind. You have guys like Zunino hitting 2nd, and he's a terrible average guy. Moving on, the Rays and Tigers. So the Rays, the Blue Jays and the Tigers. Blue Jays are favorites here. Robbie Ray going against Casey Mize. Robbie Ray is a guy I don't really trust either. I'd like to see him get it right. This guy can strike out this guy could lead the league in strikeouts, to be honest, but he also can lead the league in walks. So that's his crutch there. And he also gives up a lot of home runs. So you see his stat line there. He's actually pitching okay. Casey Mize is not having a good spring. He is a young guy. He's going to get some seasoning in the minors. So this might be a good time to attack him. Unfortunately, Blue Jays are sitting a lot of their starters, but Mize has already given up 2 home runs and a nasty near 9 ERA. So that might be a potential we might want to exploit that. But on the Blue Jay side, hitting wise, pretty average. They're third in steals, which is key. So guys like Biggio are getting on and stealing bases. They're not going to strike out, which is huge. So, don't like this spot for Mize. And then pitching, they're actually have been pretty exceptional. Their team is second in ERA, first in WHIP, which is incredible. They're not giving up home runs and they are striking guys out. So like Robbie Ray is interesting to me today, but because of the matchup and the strikeout potential, and Ks really are like the most important thing when it comes to, building your lineups. And then guys in play, and we'll look at the lineup, but Vlad is starting and he can, you can put him in first or third, which is great. Palacios and then Jonathan Davis, not to be mistaken with Jonathan Davis from the band Korn, are in play. Jonathan Davis has shown some power and some speed, so I do like that, and he's hitting leadoff. Moving on, Tigers. Hitting, not great, but they are getting on base and they aren't stealing bases. So keep that in mind. Robbie Ray's a lefty. So guys in play that I like are Jonathan Schoop, who does hit for power and hit lefties very well. And then Willie Castro has been able to get on base. He's hitting the ball well. So those are 2 guys that hit against lefties fairly well. If you want to get a little bit different, the slate, is a little bit tricky. Tigers pitching wise, their bullpen seems to be holding it together pretty well. And they're not really allowing that many home runs. I mean, really, like Casey Mize probably, counts for a majority of that. But anyway, moving on. Cardinals Mets. This is the game that we don't know too much about yet, but we do know Carlos Martinez and Taiwan Walker are facing off against each other. These 2 faced off earlier in the season, spring training. Martinez has been terrible. He's, almost 9 innings pitched, given up 11 hits, 8 earned runs, 6 walks, six strikeouts. So you don't know what the hell you're going to get out of him. I kind of would stay away from him. But the Mets aren't really hitting the ball that well, so that's kind of interesting. So like one of these has got to break, right? Somebody's got to give in. And then Taiwan Walker, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a lot of 2s here, 2 this, 2 that. So last time out was his first spring training start. He actually looked pretty decent. And he's in a pretty good spot here with the Cardinals, who are kind of just limping out the gate. Hitting wise, they're 21st in average, 24th in on base percentage. So kind of a team I would attack. They're not hitting home runs. They're not stealing bases, and they're like kind of not really striking out. They're not really doing anything. So if Walker's on his game today, and he probably will go 3 innings, we should see some high point totals. But anything can happen, right? Cardinals pitching wise, they're kind of in the lower half of the league here. 18th in ERA, 25th in WHIP, 29th in home runs allowed, and they're not really striking guys out either. Hitting wise for Cardinals, it's hard to ignore the hot start from Tyler O'Neill and Edman. So I do like those guys. They're in play. On the Mets side, yeah, they're not really hitting the ball. They're not really doing anything either. So they've been kind of struggling here. Their main guys are really just hitting the ball, like Pete Alonso and Villar and Lindor look good to me today. Pitching wise, the Mets actually are fairly good. They're 4th in ERA, 5th in WHIP, 25th in home runs allowed, 25th in strikeouts. So they're not really striking as many guys out, which is disappointing. Overall, this game is just kind of, I could see this game being like 2-1. I think that's how like maybe a lot of Mets games are going to be this season. But if Nimmo's playing, I like Nimmo, I like Villar, I like Lindor. Villar might be a little sneaky play there for some value. He has some good experience against Carlos Martinez. So it's going back to the DraftKings website, and we'll just refresh just to see if we have any more lineups. But kind of a yucky slate. You could take Walker to be safe. Robbie Ray for strikeout potential, possibly. Like they'll probably let him go a few innings, but that first game, it looks like the Rays are sitting a lot of guys. So like Lau, I like here. Yandy, I like here as well. Kiermaier is actually a decent in a decent spot too, especially with a lot of these outfielders on the other team sitting. We'll have to see what the Mets and the Cardinals do. But, this game has a potential to blow up. This could be like a, 7-5 game or whatever. So I like that. Last game, I really liked the Red Sox bottom half of the order, and I still do. I like Marwin. I like Vasquez. I like Dahlback. If you're trying to get a little bit different, they got Jaron Duran in second, who, showed some power early on, but it hasn't really been hitting the ball that great. They're still trying to figure it out up top, but the bottom half's what's up. Toronto, Detroit, Ray has that strikeout potential. This lineup is kind of yucky, but I do like Castro and Cabrera, if you want to, I don't know, take a chance there, but there's so many better options. Shope I like a lot. And then other than that, it's just like, meh. Remember, if they do get on base, they do steal bases. And then Toronto side, like, Panic's only going to get you base hits and doubles. Like, Davis is interesting. Vlad I like. Rowdy only if he was going against lefties, but he does have power potential, so that's kind of interesting. But again, first base, there's other options. Other than that, it's kind of all I like. And then we still don't know what's going on with this game. Walker seems like the safe bet. You can take a chance on Martinez. He will strike guys out, but he's just been all over the place. And I think he's just better off as a reliever. And he should go back to that. But, Alonso obviously in play. I like McNeil a little bit because you can put him in your outfield. Villar I like as well. This dude's been hitting quite a bit. Guillorme, JD Davis, they got some guys who can hit the ball. Lindor looks pretty solid. It's just they're not putting up a lot of runs, so it's kind of risky. So that's it. I hope this video helped you. My name is Tim Williams. I'm going to be breaking down MLB spring training games and regular season games. And, we're almost there. We're about, 10 days or so away from the season. So if videos like this help you, or you're interested in baseball or interested in DFS in general, please hit that subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.